Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 23 of Brawling Pit, where we're talking everything about Brawl, a standard legal command format. I am with your host, Johnathan Tang. Joining me on the line is Jacob.
Greetings.
That's Rexar, right?
No, that was actually Garish.
Oh, that's the Scarash? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You were really good at this.
I'm really good at this. That's how much I play that game. I'm more of a Magic player.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I enjoy Magic a lot better than that other game.
That's exactly why you reached Legendary the other month.
Yeah. Yeah, what are we going to talk about today, Jacob?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? We talked about it last week.
I know, but like, I don't know.
Well,
whenever you're like writing all this stuff up, you bring me in. It's like, okay, we're doing it. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I'm ready.
So we did talk about it last week because
we did.
A week from now, in GP Richmond, there's a Brawl Championship, right? And we're going to talk about how to be a Spike, basically, how to enter Spike mode, like the competitiveness that you can expect and that you should embody in the GP event that you're going to.
And also, this isn't just for GP Richmond either. If there's like another competitive Brawl event, I mean, the same thing applies. So.
Absolutely.
I was just saying, like, wait, what? That was actually a good point. Like,
yeah,
making me feel insecure about myself. Feel bad.
Yeah, that is a very good point. So, for those of you who are not aware, we have already done a GP primer on episode 12. You can go back to it and listen to it. It was for us to prep you for GP Vegas, but so there might or might not be some overlaps, but we want to just bring up the general things again in case you forget.
We're gonna try not to overlap too much, and the things that do happen to overlap, they're probably really important. So
yeah.
By the way, are you gonna be able to make it to GP Richmond? I know you and I kind of like tossed that idea back and forth together. I'm not personally gonna be able to make it to GP Richmond. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I won't be able to make it either. That playmat is really, really something I want.
The elusive playmat that neither of us are gonna be able to get.
Yeah. What a shame.
Yeah.
If they do it in like a GP Portland or GP,
I think I'll probably just end up buying one though. So whatever.
All right. I see how it is.
Wait, are you not gonna buy the playmat? It is a good playmat.
I have a lot of playmats.
I do too, but it's a good playmat. We literally talked about the playmat for like maybe even 10 minutes.
Yeah, it looks really good. She looks exactly like the wizards that she is. Blue and red. Very wizardy.
I kind of wish. Okay, so this is a little bit of a throwback to last week, but like I kind of wish they made one of her eyes red and one of her eyes blue. Both of her eyes was blue.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah,
but it's still a good playmat. It doesn't. It's good.
Probably not in the art direction.
Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's kind of a minor thing, not a big deal. Is what I'm saying.
Let's start by talking about the things you can expect at GP, right? So, number one, you want to be ready for competitive REL.
Oh boy.
What is competitive REL, Judge?
I'm actually not a judge, but I think you are. I mean, I used to be. I got timed down. Okay, I didn't judge, and like I don't feel like judging, and then they just got rid of me. So.
Okay. So.
But yeah, I mean, I was a judge. I probably still could like act as one if needed to. I know how to do it.
Okay.
So Judge, what is competitive REL? Please tell me.
Well, so competitive REL stands for competitive rules enforcement level. So yeah, a lot of rulings are a lot more intense, and so for example, if you happen to draw an extra card when you're drawing your opening hand, you found out that you have 8 cards in hand. In a regular REL, all the judge is gonna do is, okay, you have an extra card, so randomly pull one out and shuffle it back to your library.
And that's it. That's
yeah, that's it. Right.
That's also assuming there is a judge. You know, like because a lot of regular REL events, they don't even have a judge. Like the store owner can like be the head judge of a regular REL event. You might not even have like a certified level 1 judge.
Right.
You don't
Absolutely.
have to.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to. Whereas in
competitive, the penalty for drawing an extra card because it's a GPE infraction, gameplay error. The penalty for drawing an extra card is game loss.
That's what it was. That's right.
Yeah. if you draw 4 cards after casting Ancestral Recall, you lose the game.
Yeah, it's bad. No good.
Yep. There isn't even a warning for drawing extra cards. So like a lot of things that usually is okay, like wishy-washy and your regular Friday Night Magic, that doesn't cut it in competitive REL.
No.
And there's like a whole 20-page document telling you everything that you shouldn't do and
yes,
comp Brawl. So
it's a lot more. It's going to be more strict.
Right.
Okay. That is what we're getting at here. And on top of that, I realize that it's a little late to say this, but on top of that, there's judges at competitive REL events, by the way, and that wasn't already apparent.
Yeah. By the way, we will I will put the entire infraction procedure guide in the show notes. So if you guys
ever want to read them, please save yourself the trouble and don't read them because it's a pain in the butt to read.
But in case you want to know,
if you're into that stuff,
you should or should
go
not
for
do.
it.
Yeah.
But it's not the prettiest of documents to look at. We're not gonna lie.
There are things that can happen even if you miss a trigger. So
yeah.
All right. Don't miss triggers.
Don't miss triggers. Well, another thing that's weird is triggers with May. You're allowed to miss those.
Oh yeah, if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah, it's okay. Like if you miss it or like quote unquote miss a May trigger, it's assumed that you didn't want to do it. But if you miss a mandatory trigger, that's bad.
Yeah.
I believe the correct handling of that at competitive REL is your opponent decides if they want to put the trigger on the stack, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. The opponent will get to decide whether or not.
So if it's like a trigger that hurts them, they can be like, "Nah, you missed it. I don't want him to have this trigger." Yeah. But if it's like a trigger that hurts you, then like, "Oh yeah, throw that on the stack. Throw it on the stack, man. Throw it on. Make it happen."
Yep.
Whereas like in like regular REL, if there's an acting judge, that's a big if, by the way, because remember a lot of events at regular REL do not have a judge.
Right.
The judge will literally just say, "Oh, he missed it. We'll just add it. Just do it."
Speaking of REL, did you know that this is going to be a tangent, by the way, a short tangent. But did you know that there's a REL level lower than regular REL?
I did not. Please tell me. I want to know now.
So it's called REL Axed, AXED.
Okay.
So REL Axed is loading ready runs events. So the pre-release will be REL Axed. Stands for relaxed.
Oh. Okay. Well, what does that mean?
It means even easier than regular REL. You can take backs and you can whatever.
Well, like, what are the penalties though? If there are any penalties.
There are no penalties.
Oh. So, like, what happens if I miss a trigger?
Well, it depends.
What happens if I draw 8 cards in my opening hand?
Whatever the players want.
I like it. I like it because like then the penalty can be like, "What? Stop doing that!" And you just like get punched in the face. It's okay.
What's wrong with you? Jeez. Anyways,
I like that. It's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
I like loading ready run. They're good.
No, they're great bunch of people. I like their shows.
They're Canadian though.
I like their shows.
They're Canadian. That's unforgivable.
Wow.
Exactly. Lost any semblance of a Canadian on that we would have had. That's implying we had it.
Yeah, but speaking of taking back, you cannot take back at a brawl event. Like a lot of times when you're at your LGS, right, and you're playing a brawl game, Oh, I didn't mean to play the mountain. Can I play the island instead? Like,
Yeah, not gonna happen.
people will say fine, right? Like, usually in this GP, you're not. No one is gonna let you do that.
No,
So
no,
make
and you
sure.
shouldn't let your opponents do it.
Yeah, don't let them do it either. So think through your turn before you play everything, and just make sure you're doing everything in the right order.
But
You know.
on that same note of being careful, do kind of play a little quickly because
Oh
you're on
yeah.
the clock.
You don't want to get a slow play warning, which is a
Ooh.
thing, by the way.
Yeah, it is a thing, and also it's a very tilting thing to have happen to you. Even if you think, oh, I'm not gonna bother me, it always bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and too many of those, and you will get a game loss. So be careful.
Yep. Slow play is just a warning, but
Yep.
after warning, it's bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, and warnings are permanently noted on your file. Wizards has a file on you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there's a difference between cautions and warnings, actually. Cautions are not documented, but warnings are. I
Yeah.
have like 3 warnings, I think.
I have 0.
Nice, man. What's it like being such a perfect goody-goody two-shoes player? Except that doesn't really make sense because it implies that you do bad stuff on the side. But, gets the point
Feels good,
across.
man.
Wow. Maybe you should play some competitive REL events.
I did.
Woo!
I did. My opponents got warnings. Like, it was one time during it was a draft, and my opponent was using sleeves that were not opaque enough for double sleeve double sided cards. And
Wow.
during a deck check, my deck went through and his deck didn't. So he got a game loss, not a match loss, and I get to go first the second game.
Nice.
Yep.
Did I tell you about the time I was in Invitational and oh my god, I actually panicked. I got a deck check, like super unlucky. First of all, it's a huge event
Mm-hmm.
at the Invitational, and I got that check. My lands, just my lands, were not double sleeve.
Oh my!
I didn't intentionally do it, but like I was like so panicked when I got pulled aside. Like, hey, there's a problem with your deck. I'm like, what? Like, I'm pretty sure I did everything right, you know. And like, your lands aren't double sleeve. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I didn't mean to. And there's no way. I don't think there's any way I can actually discern that they were like land or not land. But like, it was not good. I panicked a little
Was
bit.
that the warning?
I actually didn't get anything.
What?
Nope, I got nothing. They just said be careful next time.
Okay, well, be careful next time, Jacob.
Yeah, and I know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, moving on. No slow play. Also, don't let people see your hand. This is something
Yeah,
that's multiplayer
and
formats.
this is something. Oh wait, yeah, and like typically not a big deal because a lot of the times these kind of games are casual. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
but like
I understand
a lot of
EDH can be a little
times,
competitive.
when you're holding your grip with cards, like the person on your left or the right, like sitting on the same side of the table,
Typically, doesn't matter.
typically it doesn't matter, but it's really easy for them to see your cards.
Yeah,
Just you don't even need to hold it like at a weird angle. Like a lot of times when you're facing the cards at yourself, they just can't help it but see it. So make
yeah.
sure that your opponents can't see it, unless
Unless you want them to see
yeah.
it.
I was talking to Jacob earlier about this. Like, what if
You
you're
were?
holding what if you're holding like 3 counter spells and you show them 1?
That'd be evil. But yeah, it's not something that honestly I would even think of. Like I've played a ton of Grand Prix, I've played a ton of SCG stuff, invitationals, etc. And like
Yeah, because
it
like
just
normally you don't have people sitting on your left or your right.
you do, but like they're in another game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. But now you do have someone that does care, and they're sitting right next to you. So be
And
careful.
they're going to use that information against you.
Even if like
So.
they say they don't, it's like plausible deniability, and I think honestly, like even just the average person, like if you hand them like that free bit of information, of course they're gonna use it. Like they don't even. It's impossible to prove that they wouldn't use it. So
Yeah. So just be
just
careful.
yes, be careful.
And that is not something that you can call a judge on. Like
No,
the judge
no,
can't
you
do
can't.
anything about it. Like because well,
The
he
judge is
say
gonna tell you to stop being an idiot and be careful.
yeah, he says he didn't see it.
Yeah.
So
And there's actually like, there's not even like technically a rule against it either.
mhm.
Like if your opponent was like in a Grand Prix, let's say, if your opponent was like literally getting up and trying to run around to see, like assuming they don't just like concede the game on the spot from leaving the table without a judge like permission. If they were like trying to like run around, they get hit with a different type of warning for like disruptive behavior or whatever, right?
Mhm.
There's no actual rule that says you can't look at your opponent's hand. So like,
No.
there's not even a rule to protect you there.
Yeah. Also, get ready for huge crowds. Of course, GP is huge, and
hmm
at, especially next to a pairing form. Oh my gosh! If you don't check the pairing form early, it can take you like
like 5 minutes just waiting
a
in line.
long time. Yeah, before you
And we
get
say
to it.
line, right? But it's not a line. It's like a
No, it's
blob.
more like it's a blob, and
But
you have to like cut yourself into it, and
yes.
that's crazy. And make sure you're looking at the right pairing form too, because like there are so many different gathering areas. Make sure you get the
Oh
right
yeah.
color.
Like if
And
you like get to the front of the line, quote unquote line again, and you realize, oh, this is the wrong pairings board. Now you have to go wait in another one. So,
yeah,
and you might be late. Don't be late. That's bad.
yeah, you have 6 minutes before
Yeah.
you like. Once it's 6 minutes, well,
Yeah.
um,
Check their website. I think Channel Fireball has all United States Grand Prix now, I think. So check their website. They might have a pairings for it. But then again, this isn't the premiere event. This or the main event, so they might not have it.
yeah. Oh,
But
sorry, not 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Tardiness. You have five
Yeah.
minutes to show up, and once you're late, you get a game loss, and your opponent will get to go first.
In my experience, like especially at like big events like Grand Prix,
Mhm.
they don't really enforce that rule down to like the minute. Like if you're late, like like game loss, etc. But like in my experience, it usually ends up being like sometimes like 7 to 10 minutes after they first
Oh,
call pairing coming up.
usually what people will do is they just sit there and wait for the 5 minutes, and they immediately call judge.
Oh yeah,
After 5 minutes hits, like you will see like multiple hands goes up and like
hmm
multiple judges call
oh
happen.
yeah. But
And
one thing to note is don't get tricked by that. The round doesn't start until the announcer says it starts. So
mhm,
even if 5 minutes passes, if they're not, like I said, this is what I was getting at with like they don't like wait exactly 5 minutes. I feel like sometimes they wait longer. Usually what they do is like they'll look and they'll see like once everybody's like sat down, like they start.
yeah,
But no, it depends. Not always. So the round starts when they say it starts. If your opponent's got to watch, I saw this happen to one poor kid. If your opponent's got to watch and like they're timing it themselves and they raise their hand and everybody's still
mhm,
moving around, like just ignore them.
yeah. By the way, if you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, everything is so intense, everything is so stressful," well, it's not really stressful, but it's just things that you want to be careful about, and don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry
a lot
about it.
of the things just boil down to just be a little more careful, be a little more vigilant than you normally are.
Yeah, use your
That's it.
common sense. Don't stress over it. Don't stress
Yeah.
over it. It's okay. It's okay, man.
Anyway, so now that we kind of now that we kind of got like out of the now that we've like explained kind of like just the general GP stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like
Let's.
specific, not specific to Brawl.
Oh yeah. Let,
This is something that has never needed to be said before. It's something that you hear a lot in chess though, but not here in Magic though. Is be a little more prepared to navigate your endgame with your deck, like you know more so than others.
sure. Yeah.
So
Use decks that have easier endgame.
if you can't manage to navigate your endgame or you're not comfortable or whatever, as an alternative. And
Right.
the reason why this has never been or never needed to be said before is because typically in premier level events, it's 1-on-1, legacy, standard, modern. Um, and with EDH, not to crap on EDH here, but like the
I mean
most competitive
brawl.
EDH, well, Brawl is Brawl's new, and it's an option of EDH, I think. I mean, it's basically the same thing. But anyways, but the point is, like, and not to crap on EDH, but, like, EDH, the most competitive that's ever seen is, like, a 4-man side event.
Well, CEDH is a thing.
Like, a 4-man on-demand pod at Grand Prix is the most competitive the EDH has ever seen. So, this is, like, the next highest level that we've ever seen for, like, an EDH/Brawl-esque type event. So,
well,
you will be able to...
Commander Championship, too.
Oh, that too.
There was.
So, be able to navigate your deck's endgame, like, kind of reasonably well. The reason why I'm saying this is because, with regard to time, your turn should probably be about a minute at most. So, like, you have... This is not just like a 1-on-1. You have 2 extra players to manage for 4 people total. Yourself and three opponents, right? You're not going to have any friends here, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, the end games might be especially complicated, and if you don't think you can, like, manage your time so that you can get your turns done within, like, a minute or so, you might hit slow play warnings, or you might, like, make more misplays than you would have normally because you're kind of on the clock. So, either prepare end games, like, or pick a simpler deck, like one of the two.
Yeah. The last thing you want to do is play a combo deck that you're not super familiar with, and then you screw up your combo. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you want to make your life as easy as possible, and to do that, just play an easier deck. And by easy, I don't mean not competitive. I mean just decks that have
just
simple plans.
Something that has a simpler plan. Like aggro. Oh boy. Oh man.
Speaking of aggro, what do you think the meta will be like? Like, how do we combat the meta? What do we anticipate to see at GP Richmond?
Joda.
Joda will definitely be there.
Well, I don't know. No, that's not true. I mean, I say I don't know, but, like, I kind of have a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the top dogs: Muldrotha, Joda, Nicobolus,
and
Jorah.
Both copies of Nicobolus, like both the creature and the 7-drop planeswalker.
Yeah, both are good. Both are very good.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Slimefoot. I feel like people really like this card.
It's really busted if you don't get rid of it. You can just sit back and pretend you're not there, like a little mushroom, and once you get like a critical mass of saplings, you just either pump them all and swing for a lethal, or you just sack them all and kill everyone.
Yeah, generally the meta is just going to be like kind of slow mid-rangey decks or like combo decks. And in my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm about to share an opinion. I would take aggro against this field.
So you play like Emerald Backup Brass, or you play like
Kumena or something. I don't know, or like an aggressive build of Kumena.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. That's not the only option though. Like, playing a good mid-range deck that's like specially crafted to beat other mid-range decks is good.
Yeah. And also, your decks are not going to be super consistent being a singleton format. Like, even as much redundancy as you put into the deck, it's still going to be a lot more random than your usual 4-off formats. So,
yep.
Don't be too salty if you lose early.
Try not to be.
Yeah, well,
emotions happen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely been annoyed and salty before, like losing out of a tournament early. We've all been there, but try not to be. Try not to let it ruin your weekend. Try.
Yep.
What would you do to counter this meta? We talked about what I would do. What would you do?
Play aggro.
All right. Give me a deck.
Give me a deck. Give you a deck.
Yeah, give me a deck.
Probably.
Like, what would you play?
Oh, jeez.
See, I kind of like sided.
Probably the Knight deck we built.
Okay, all right, I dig.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You know, the Knight deck turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I honestly thought it was gonna be trash, but like after we kind of like got it together and we did a little bit of testing, I'm like, oh, it's actually not too bad.
I actually play against people, and dude, it's good. Good.
No, yeah, I definitely would probably slot into like an aggressive commander.
Yeah.
I guess Admiral Beckett Brass, which by the way we did a deck on. It's pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate like having that many colors. like when I'm aggro.
Yeah, well, it does add a little bit of like
Like
the
color
tap lands
problem.
are just
Yeah,
tough.
slow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot you can do because it's like, well, either you have slow mana or no mana.
Yep.
When you put it like that.
Not in this format, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have the shock lens. We have check lens.
You know, if I had to pick a mid-range deck, though, I'd probably pick, I hope I'm saying this right, Gishat,
Mm.
the
Okay.
8-mana dinosaur, the Naya one.
Yeah.
Alright, now, the reason being is because I'm biased and I love Naya, but, you know.
Sure.
I know, terrible.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's really easy for Gishaft to connect, which will allow you to get a ton of dinosaurs on the battlefield.
And, honestly, okay, this is my unpopular opinion for the day. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Jonah's really powerful. I don't like it.
Oh, 5-color. Yeah, that's tough.
I don't like it because it's like, once you play Jonah, well, just even sitting down, like, hey guys, I am Jonah, everybody, like, stares at you, and, like, that's who I'm killing first.
Uh-huh. You are painting a target on your back.
Yeah. I hate it. It's so good. It's, like, too good.
Yeah. So, at GP, like, on top of selecting your decks to counter the meta, there's something that you can do that, may be harder to pull off, or, maybe you shouldn't pull off at a regular REO event. And this is because there are a lot of judges available to you, and you can use them to your advantage. At GP, anything goes, as long as it's within the rules. So don't cheat. Do not cheat. But you can do interesting things. Now,
what kind of interesting things?
For example, if you're sitting down and playing against a blue player, like for example Muldrotha, and Muldrotha is on the battlefield, huge threat, but all his mana is open, right?
Well, that's kind of scary.
For a Muldrotha player to not play anything back from the graveyard and leaving all his mana open, you know he has a counter spell.
The fact that he even got to untap, like, that's not the biggest. All right,
yeah.
All right, go on.
All right, so Muldrotha is on the battlefield. Now, on the other side, there's a non-blue player with a pretty threatening commander out. So, for example, Sakama. All right, Sakama is pretty scary.
Very.
You can do a play like this. So, call a judge. Ask the judge if you can target Sakama with this thing. Now, all the judge is going to say is yes, because it's true. What you're holding is Ravenous Chupacabra, and once it enters the battlefield, you can target Sakama. Is a true statement. All right. So, what you're doing here is you're signaling to the whole table that your target is Sakama. So you play the Chupacabra. Maybe the table won't let it resolve, but maybe it will. But the Muldrotha player, some Muldrotha players here will counter it, but some won't, because like those who won't thinks you're going after Sakama.
That sounds
so you play the Chupacabra and he lets it resolve. Once it wheels back to you, you target Muldrotha. That is a valid play. God. That's fine. All right, you can bluff with judge calls.
Definitely don't do this at a local tournament.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put us in the spike mindset.
I remember a similar sentiment though with Grand Prix. Like, you're in an international tournament and like you're trying to win. You're probably never seeing these people ever again. You know, like, do it if you can make a bluff play. Just using the judge's presence and asking a question. Go for it if you want. I would recommend not doing that at a local tournament because that is how you make enemies. I guarantee you, if you did that, the other players at your table will not be very happy with you.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it at your local like LGS. Like, those people are you're going to see them again.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy with you.
You don't want to make enemies.
Them. Like it's legal. You're allowed to do it. You're allowed to it's allowed within the rules. You're allowed to trick your opponents. Your opponents aren't going to be happy about it. But
no. But at a GP, you're never going to see those guys again. So
no,
just do it.
Yeah, go for it. You want. This is about being a spike. We didn't say we'd make friends off this.
Yeah, we didn't. And
actually, that brings up
we're just trying to put everyone in the Spike mindset. And to be fair, you don't need to do any of these things. But
No, you don't have to.
it's all tools available to you. Whether or not you use it is up to you.
Well, there's two things I want to go off from that. One, I remember at a Grand Prix I was at, I mulliganed to like 5 or some awful number in limited, and all I had were like lands and basically a Thunderbolt Hellkite. I don't remember. It was a 5-mana hasting flying dragon. I don't remember which dragon it was, but it was a flying 5-mana hasty dragon, right?
Yeah.
So I bluffed my opponent into thinking I was like some new player or whatever, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I made him burn all of his counter spells. And then on like turn 5, or the earliest I could with my dragon, I just slammed my dragon, and he's like, oh. And then he just died, because he got overconfident and used his counter spells on my stuff I didn't really care about.
Sure.
So, yeah. The mind game
is
like
real.
kind of a niche thing, but when you can pull it off, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, that is interesting how like we do a lot of shortcuts in Magic, and I don't want to like go too far in depth with this because there's like a million and one other resources on shortcuts, but like if you like make the play Chupacabra like in this order, like you say like something like this, you tap 4 mana Chupacabra and you just immediately say kill that thing, like you're technically shortcutting.
Yeah, generally, I mean, usually in regular RL, the thing is not gonna get countered, so everyone understands what's going on. But in GP,
Yep.
you should weigh it out.
Yeah,
Chupacabra.
and yeah, just say Chupacabra. Don't say what it's targeting, especially with multiple valid targets. Just say Chupacabra, because you want all the 3 other people like wondering, what if he targets my thing? What if he targets my thing? What if he targets my thing? And this is relevant because like if they have counter spells but not like protection spells, they need to counter Chupacabra before it comes down.
Yeah, because once it comes down, it's too late.
It's too late. Even if they put the ability on, if it resolves and you get to put the Chupacabra trigger on the stack and then they kill it, it's too late. The Chupacabra trigger will resolve and you'll get to blow up whatever you want to blow up.
Yeah, the only 2 cards in Magic that can stop those things is Disallow.
Stifle effects and protection effects.
There are only 2 stifle effects in standard. So if they don't have those, very likely they won't in hand. They just can't do anything about it. They let it resolve already. So approaching this GP, last week we talked about, doing this episode that we're doing right now. And we got a listener who submitted their deck, and they were like, "Oh, this is a competitive deck. You guys should talk about it and let us know what you think."
No.
And
well, technically, I think what they said, they emailed us and they're like, "I'm going to this Grand Prix. Will you help me out and look at this deck?"
Yeah. So we're going to Deck Doctor Noah G's deck. He built a Muldrotha deck.
Okay, it's a good deck.
Yeah, it's a good deck. And we'll
now,
link the.
Have you looked at this deck before? Because I haven't looked at this deck before. You might have looked at it like when preparing. I haven't really looked through this.
Yeah, I've seen this deck before, and we'll link the deck list in the show notes. But it's an interesting approach. He has a 25 lands.
Let's go through
a good number.
Card by card, kind of. I guess we can go we can just run through the cards real quick. We don't have to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So ignoring the lands, right? The land base is pretty good. There are not a lot of things that we need to change in the lands, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, looks solid.
Right. So
I'm looking at the lands now. I'm looking at Aether Hub. I don't know what the rest of the deck looks like, but if you don't have enough energy sources, I'm not a huge fan of Aether Hub.
It looks like he has a couple of energy sources. Which would be fine. But let's go into it.
All right, what do you want to start off?
Well, he has Champion of Wits, first creature, and that's a good creature to.
Good creature, yeah, good card
to
for
bounce back,
to
recast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Champion of Wits is actually a lot better when you eternalize it. So I don't know. That's potentially a card to pick out. Channeler Initiate.
Seems fine.
It's a 3/4.
Yep.
And when it dies, it becomes a mana dark again.
Yeah,
Drove of
okay.
the Mighty is just a mana dork.
Yep, that's fine.
Dust Legion Zealot. When it enters battlefield, you draw a card and lose a life. That's
I
great.
like it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great to recast. Gaunty,
Yep.
Lord of Luxury. Oh, that's just
It's a good mid-range card.
amazing to recast because you get to.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, 2 black for a 2/3 Etherborn Rogue with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library. You can exile one face down, and then put the rest in the bottom of his library in a random order. Now, for as long as that card remains exiled, you may look at it and you may cast it, spending mana as though there were any mana cost and any mana type. So
Yep.
even if
Good card.
Gaunty
Really good
loses,
card.
even if Gaunty dies, you can still cast that card. So the more times you can cast Gaunty and kill Gaunty, the better.
Yep. Gaunty's a good card. What do you got next? Hostage Taker, good card.
Yeah. 2 blue-black for a 2/3 human pirate. When ETB, you exile a thing, and you may cast it. Same beam as Gaunty. You spend any
Yeah,
mana
it's a good
for it.
recast target. Yeah.
So
Josie Best, yeah. He's not bad. He's okay.
yeah, Yozufes is fine. I think it's fine. Lenore Elves is just a mana dork. So alright.
Yeah, it's fine.
Now Noxious Gearhulk is
Uh,
just another Chupacabra.
Yeah, but it's a pretty good
Yeah, it's a
Chupacabra
good
though.
Chupacabra. It also has
It's
menace.
like it's gonna kill someone real quick.
And the next card is of
And then
course Chupacabra.
we have actual Chupacabra. Okay, that's pretty good.
So they have both copies of Chupacabra. Interesting they don't have the third copy of Chupacabra, which is Meteor Golem, but it's 7-drop, so maybe not. Rishkar, Kima Renegade.
You know, I haven't seen like the entirety of the deck, but like I'm kind of like on the Rishkar so far. Like it's okay.
It does make everything on the battlefield a mana dark, but
well, only if it has a 1/1 counter. But yeah.
well, you put 2 things on them. You
Right,
put 2
right, right,
1/1
right,
counter
yeah.
already. So, Server of the Conduit, that's your energy source, but
Okay, it's one
it's
energy
a mana
source.
dark that requires energy to work. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
not.
Maybe.
Tatiova.
I love Tatiova.
Tatiova is
The
great.
Tatiova is a good pick.
Scarab God is great. I think Scarab God goes into any
Oh
deck
yeah.
containing blue black.
Torrential
Gearhulk.
Gearhulk.
I don't know what I haven't looked. I haven't looked at a lot of the instance yet, but I
Well,
don't
it looks
know if
like
there are
there's
enough.
yeah, it looks like there's like 9 targets. So it's good
There
enough.
are 7
Fine.
targets.
Instant sorcery, right?
Actually, no, there are 6 targets.
Oh no,
Because
sorry,
instance
Never mind.
and Nexus of Fate is never going to be in your graveyard. So
Yeah, so there's 6 targets. I mean that's good enough. Next is like Noxious Torrential Gearhulk. Like you might want to like shore it up and maybe add a couple more instances. I don't know what you'd cut though. We'll get to that I guess later when we actually look at the whole deck. But maybe add a few more targets. But Torrential Gearhulk seems okay.
Sure. Now, Verdurous Gearhulk,
that's in. Oh yeah.
might be
I mean,
a little bit weak.
it's interesting. Well, I mean, like I see the synergy like you're going for with like the Rishkar Vendorous Gearhulk combo, but like okay, so you just have extra mana, like big deal.
It's not
like,
really a
I'm not,
combo because
I'm not saying that extra mana is bad, but like
but
it's not the most powerful thing you could be doing.
It's not really a combo because you can only cast one creature back from the graveyard each turn.
Yeah.
So it's a lot slower than you might think, and it just doesn't do enough in this format. You want to do things that like when you're paying that much mana for it, you want to just like kind of have an impact.
Technically, if you have Muldrotha, and if you're somehow allowed to untap with Muldrotha, like I don't know how you do it, but let's say you do it, right? You can name Venger's Gearhulk for the artifact, and then Rishkar for the creature.
Oh, that's
but
true.
even so, like his argument's still stands. 8 mana, and all you're doing is like giving yourself some extra mana dorks. I mean, it's not the most powerful thing you can be doing. You know, there are better things. I see what you're going for. It is a nice synergy, but maybe consider doing something else.
Yeah.
if you can.
Wayward Sword 2. 2 green.
What does it do? Wait, let me read this
5/5.
guy. Yeah, what does it do?
2 green for a 5/5 dinosaur with Ascend. Now you can play an additional land on each of your turn. And
Okay, I like
can't
it.
attack or block unless you have the city's blessing. So the Explore.
I like this card.
The Explore is interesting because Explore means you can play an extra land. Exploration, not Explore. It's interesting, especially if you have Tatiova out, you play a land and then you may draw into another land, or if you already have a land in your graveyard, you can do.
I really like this card actually.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I kind of think I want to include this guy in my future like green deck.
What's your
Um,
justification?
the reason being is like, well, exploration is just a good effect anyways. Like if you can, like exploration's weakness is that you're gonna run out of lands like
Yeah,
really
that
quickly.
that's my that's
But
my pet peeve is
um,
for a three
right,
mana or 3 mana permanent. Once you play it, you may not have 2 lands ever in your hand again.
yeah.
It may not ever
But
happen. The only
if
reason
you can,
why the only reason why exploration was a good card is because it costs 1.
right, but the reason why like, or if you can like pair this with like consistent card draw, it gets way better. So, um, and just in my 2 cents, I would probably craft my decks in such a way that makes this guy like consistently good. I don't know how good he'd be in this one. Like unless you have Tatiova out, you might struggle with it. But like even so, the 3 mana 5/5 body's okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of lukewarm on this guy in this particular build, but like I'm sure you could probably tweak it and make him way better. I don't know. I like this guy though.
Yeah.
My opinion. My 2 cents. I like this
Sure.
guy.
I don't like it in this deck.
Um.
That's okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now, Cultivator's Caravan. I like that card.
Yeah. 3 mana.
You can crew it with the Wayward Sawtooth Dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
a rock.
There we got to use. You have a use for your dinosaur now.
It's just a rock. Guild
Yep.
Lotus, good card, good ramp.
Yep.
Oraska Relic, just a ramp. That's fine.
Yeah, it's rare. I mean, and then in the late game when you don't need it anymore, you can draw a card with it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Now, Nissa Steward of Elements. Now, that's a little bit.
Really?
I don't know how good that is in this deck.
I'm not feeling it. No, I'm not. I'm not feeling it.
Nissa, a lot of times when you're playing Nissa, it's a lot better if you actually know what the top card of your library is. Because that's what I mean. Yeah, you get the scry too, of course, plus it. But by the time it rolls around back to your turn, you may not have Nissa again. So if you have like the precognition lands, for example, in those kind of decks, it may be a lot better because you know exactly where your top card is. It probably I don't know if it belongs in this deck because
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
yeah, Vraska's all right.
Relic Seeker? Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good card.
it makes a guy. It makes a 2/2 of menace. That's fine. I mean,
Yep.
the minus is fine. It destroys something. It
Yep.
gives you treasure. No, the -10 is just hilarious. So I approve.
I also approve. Yeah, Vraska is a good pick here.
Mhm. Commit to memory. Is interesting. Commit is I mean, it's basically a counter spell, or it can be
Yeah.
a bounce spell. Memory is funny when you cast it a turn after commit. So I think it's all right. This allows
Yeah.
needed in this deck because you don't want Muldrotha to get countered. I mean, to get removed. You
Yeah, and it doubles as a cycle
yeah.
effect. So yeah,
Always
good.
leave your counter spells up for game winning effects. So for example, if someone is casting Torn of Hailfire for 35, X equals 35, that's a spell that you might want to counter. Torn of
Yeah,
Hailfire, by the way,
maybe.
is repeat the following process 6 times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discard a card. So it might be a good idea to counter that.
I mean, you don't have to
You don't have to, but
if you like losing.
yeah. So you leave your counter spells up. Here's another thing that we probably should have talked about is knowing when to sandbag and knowing what threats are. You want to assess the threat, and threat assessment is very important. You want to look at something. You don't want to look at a spell and see whether or not that's a real threat to you, because it may not be. But
Yeah.
for game-ending effects like Torment of Hellfire, and it's probably a threat that's counterable. So leave your counter spells up for those kind of things. Also, send back your counter spells. You don't have to cast it, right? You don't counter the Soul Ring. Don't do it. Don't counter Mana Rock. Right? Even I know you have mana open. You don't have to do it.
But it's mana efficient.
Uh-huh.
It is.
So the next card is Glimmer of Genius. It's a good card draw spell, also an energy source. So I'm fine with that. Negate
Okay.
is fine. Nexus of
Yep.
Fate is hilarious.
It's a good meme. Good meme.
I like that.
It is a good card.
Supreme Will is another counter spell or it filters in late game.
Yeah.
Because Contempt is fine. I like that card. Bounty of Deluxa is
I like that.
interesting.
I like
It ramps you every other turn or it draws you cards every other turn.
It gets a thumbs up from me. I like it.
Yeah. Search for Escanta is interesting. I don't know how good that is in this deck. Because
Well, it plays nicely with Muldrotha, but and it also filters you.
it does.
And it flips into a cool land.
The land doesn't do what you want though. Because it's looking for non-creature, non-land cards. You just don't have that many of them. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about Search, but if you like it, you like it. So the Eldest Reborn, I think that's great. The fact that you can recast Eldest Reborn after Chapter 3 is hilarious. So I absolutely approve. I think you should play the other sagas as well. By the way, the other Black sagas are really good, or even some of the Blue sagas. So we'll talk about that later. Never to Return is just a removal spell that also gives you guys in the game. So Yawgmoth's File Offering, Reanimation. So you have some cards that are questionable, but there are a lot of good cards in here.
Yeah, I'd say overall it's all right.
Yeah, I'll say it's
definitely would make a few changes though.
Yeah,
if you can.
So the number one cards. What's the number one card that we should take out? I think the number one card that you should be taking out or
maybe Search.
Yeah, you should take out Search. I recommend putting in things that matters with the recursion theme. So, for example, Rites of Belsenok is a good thing to play. Or you can also play Phyrexian Scriptures. So, Phyrexian Scriptures is 2 black for a saga. Chapter 1, you put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other type. Chapter 2 is destroy all non-artifact creatures. In Chapter 3, exile all cards from all opponents' graveyard. Not yours. All opponents' graveyard. Rev Belsenok makes you guys. And it's very important because 2 black, Chapter 1/2 creates 2 0/1 black cleric creature tokens. Now, Chapter 3 creates a 6/6 black demon creature token with flying, trample, and at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice another creature. If you can't, this creature deals 6 to you. Well, guess what? There are things you want to sack in this deck. And this is a sack out. So you get Rite of Belsenok out, you get the demon out, and your Chupacabra becomes broken.
You go to town.
Yeah.
And you go to town with the 6/6.
And you go to 6/6. So I definitely think you should put in all those Black Sagas. I don't know if the last one is good enough. Chainer Storm.
Yeah.
All it does is mix an XX.
I think you should also personally. I think you should cut Rishkar and Venger's Gearhulk as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's worth
There
playing in this deck.
There are better things that you can play with. So number one thing that you should actually play with, and this is interesting. I recommend Scape Shift.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah, because you can just recycle all the lands. Now, number one, it synergizes really well with Tatiofa. It draws you all the cards.
You might just deck yourself.
You might deck yourself, but it's a risk you should take. But number two, after you Escape Shift, you can bring them back from the graveyard anyways. So
one at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who cares? you do already also have the Wayward Swordtooth. So this is one way to make that card good. Is if you have Scape Shift, now Wayward does a lot of things because it brings back 2 lands every turn.
One thing that you need to watch out for is that, well, you're playing Muldrotha, so try not to get blown out by Graveyard Hate. And when I say that, I don't mean like the unhelpful advice, like don't get your graveyard exiled. You don't really have a lot of control of that. What I mean is understand that your graveyard will get exiled at some point, probably, likely. So attempt to play around that if you can.
Well, even if you play around that, like that shouldn't be your only game plan, right? That's why Scarab God is in your deck, because if your graveyard gets hated out, Scarab God is your plan B, because it allows you to bring back things from your opponent's graveyard.
Yeah,
With that,
it's like, oh, you exiled my graveyard? Well, now your graveyard is my graveyard.
yeah. Now, with that said, it might be better to put in some other plans as your late game plan. I know we talked about keeping it simple, but there are ways where you can.
Yeah, have multiple win cons if you can.
Right. One really good card, one really interesting card is that you might consider playing is Torgar Famine Incarnate. 6 black for a 7/6 avatar. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacked this way, and when it enters the battlefield, up to one target player's life total becomes half their starting life total, rounded down. So this one don't someone to 15. And then you can, do what you will, or it can save you. And it's also a good reanimation target if Muldrotha actually gets to stick around. So
Oh, Nissa. Yeah, I would probably get rid of Nissa too.
yeah, I don't think this set belongs in here, but one thing that belongs in here, I think, is Journey to Eternity. That's another one of your plan B. If Muldrotha doesn't stick, this may help you. 1 black green for a legendary enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Then return Journey to Eternity to the battlefield, transform under your control. Now, the other side is called Essol, Cave of Eternity, which allows you to tap to add 1 mana of any color, or you can pay 3 black green and tap to return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, number 1, not only is this a protection spell for either your Muldrotha or anything you want to protect, but it also acts as a plan B once it flips, because it allows you to recast creature cards from your graveyard for 5 mana without having Muldrotha on the battlefield.
I like it. It's a good card.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about Champion of Wits, so
Champion Wits is okay. I don't know, it's what would you suggest over it though? Like Champion Wits is decent.
it is decent, but
Yeah,
I think
it's decent.
there are ways to make it so that you don't have to. I mean, the 2 discard is good. Don't get me wrong. You do want the discard engine in this deck too, but I don't know. It's just much better when you eternalize it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of things. You play Champion Wits and you put that stupid little enchantment on top of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go to
One.
town on with it.
So another card that you might want to consider, which is really curious. I don't know why you haven't put this in your deck.
Very suspicious.
But it's Desecrated Tomb. Newly printed from M19. So it's a 3-drop artifact that says, whenever 1 or more creature cards leaves your graveyard, creates a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying.
Oh my god! Actually, I like this.
Yeah, so
this is really cool. It's a little niche.
So
but
it's not niche in this deck because
yeah.
you get to bring cards back every turn.
Also, it's not just from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's just leave your graveyard.
Yeah,
So if your graveyard gets wiped,
right, You get bats. Well, we get one bat.
Yeah,
but
consolation prize, you get a bat.
Yeah, and it flies. Like it's not every day where you get a flying token. I think that's good.
Oh, I was looking over the mana base a little bit. There is a land that I would probably not play.
And what is it?
Cradle of the Accursed. Like, I understand what you're going for with the black zombie creature token. Like, it's synergy with your what's the god? I literally don't.
Scarab God.
It's synergy with your Scarab God. Like, it's an extra zombie, sure. I don't think it's worth it though. Like, it's a colorless mana source. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't. I would just put any color over this. It's just I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree. Also contributing to another one of those like plan B, like what if you don't have Muldrotha on the battlefield? You should play Crucible of Worlds.
Oh my. Okay, I'm in.
Like with Crucible and the Field of Runes that you already have, fun things happen.
I think Crucible Worlds plus Tat Yoba would be a good meme.
Yeah, and it also it also allows recursion of your activated ability lands. So for example, like Memory to Volley, you have to sack it to bring something back to your hand. Well, now you can play again after you sack it.
Or Memorial of the Genius, where you sack it to divinate, but then you can get it back to your hand. Or you can play it back to the battlefield, so you get a land. So that's cool.
Crucible is a good card in this deck, I think.
Oh yeah, I dig. Maybe if actually, if I'm going for like a Crucible build, maybe I would activate more, or maybe I'd add more deserts to this. I don't know. It's something to explore. I'm not like with the GP right around the corner. By the time that you listen to this, maybe is not the time to like experiment too much.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is, depending on how much time you have.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm interested.
Also, one last card I'm going to recommend, then I'm done. This may be a little bit iffy, but you might want to play Mistcaller. Costs blue, and it's a 1/1. Merfolk Wizard. Sacrifice Mistcaller. Until end of turn, if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. So this is a tech card because I think that there will be some cheating of mana costs happening. Like for example, with the put something into the battlefield meme.
That's a good meme.
Yeah, like what's the name of that card? Friends Temporal Gateway. Yeah, I think that would be a card that you will see a lot. So Mistcaller, in all other decks, it's just a one-off effect. Oh, do you just play your thing from your hand with Friends Temporal Gateway? Well, all right. Sack Mistcaller, kill it. I'll cast Mistcaller.
Well, I guess if we're done suggesting cards, like Josu Vest is something that I probably would cut. Like, we're not saying it's bad. Josu Vest is fine, but once again, not exactly the most powerful thing. I see what you're going for though, with the zombie and the Scarab God meme here, but like
Scarab God's good on itself. Like you don't really need to try to
doesn't
push
need the help.
Yeah, you don't need to push the zombie theme too hard.
Yeah,
it's good.
But yeah, so those cards I would recommend. We would recommend cutting.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to, but
yeah, you don't have to. Oh, I want to talk about one more card. Just one more.
All right, what?
Promise it'll be the last one. But this is really good in this deck.
Okay, all right. This is good, guys.
Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma. 3 and a green for a 4/3 legendary bear creature.
Oh god.
Creature spells you cast with power 4 or
Shut
greater.
Your ears. This is the bad
Creature
meme.
spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast, including Muldrotha and most of the creatures in this deck already.
No.
Whenever Goreclaw attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. So number one, this is reach for your deck. It helps you to push through in the late game.
The madman.
But also, it ramps you. You can play Goreclaw turn 4 and Muldrotha turn 5. Or you can play Goreclaw turn 3 if you have Llanowar Elves out.
Oh,
and then you can play
man.
Muldrotha turn 4. Turn 4 Muldrotha is powerful.
No.
So a lot of cards, a lot of the creatures in your deck are power 4 greater. So
Now, is it on cast from your hand or just on cast? Or on ETB?
just creature spells you cast.
No, but I thought I had it on me. My bad, sorry.
Yeah, just creature spells you cast with 4 greater. So right now it's hitting your Gearhulks.
It's also hitting the Sword Tooth.
It hits the Sword Tooth. It hits
And the Scarab God.
It hits. And it hits Muldrotha. I think that's good enough. That's enough justification for you to play Claw. We found a home for it.
And this might be it.
Yeah, we found a home for it. We did it, guys. We did it.
We did it. Alright. But I think that basically wraps up our thoughts on the deck. Overall, it's like, it was a good deck.
Yeah, it looks fun. That's fun to play.
This was mostly a discussion to bring it to like maybe like an 85 to like a 95, 99 deck.
Oh yeah, you like
this deck.
You don't want to
the deck was already decent.
Yeah, you don't want to bring a 75% to a GP.
No. The deck was already pretty good.
Yep.
We wish you the best of luck for this tournament, assuming that's what it's for.
Yeah,
I guess it could be for anything.
Yeah, it's a good deck, so definitely have fun with it, and let us know how you do. We're really interested.
Actually, I think we can get used to it. Like, I think we might as well. Like, if you have like any decks that you want us to review, I guess we can look at it.
So yeah, if you have any decks that you want us to look over, I guess we can do a deck doctor segment every now and then, and it should be fun.
Want it every week? Is there a problem with every week? If that's what they want.
That's what people want.
If that's what the people want.
I guess we'll let the submissions decide. So
we'll let the submissions decide.
So how do you get the deck list to us, you ask? Well, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Brawling Pit. You can find our subreddit at r/Brawling Pit. Email us at brawlingpitmtg@gmail.com. Or you can just visit our official website at brawlingpit.com. So, as always, I've been Johnathan, and he's been Jacob. See you guys next time. So, speaking of bluffing, there's a card in the Eternal format that is really interesting. It's called Cheering Fanatic, 1 and a red for a 2/2 goblin. Whenever Cheering Fanatic attacks, choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name cost 1 less to cast this turn. This is a great card to bluff.
I like this card.
You don't have to have the card in your hand for you to name that card.
Nope.
But you have to name a card.
Actually, I like this card in really janky brews of like Storm.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can use it like the legit way, but all I'm saying is, you can leave like 1 white open, attack with Cheering Fanatic and some other thing, and you can name Tandem Tactics without having Tandem Tactics in your hand.
Oh my god!
Are they gonna block now?
I don't know, man.
Are they going to block your guy? Because if they block it, well, they better have 4 power. Because you just named Tandem Tactics.
What if they just like man mode up and just like block? Oh man, what do you do then?
That's sad.
Sad life.
But I'm just saying, it's a very interesting way to use this card.
It is. No, it is. It is.
And yeah, you have your blue open. You name Cryptic Command.
Cryptic Command.
Yeah. Are they going to cast their spells now?
Well, they can do it in response.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think you have to name the card as it goes in the stack.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's true.
Maybe it doesn't work as well for counter spells, but
Tandem Tactics is a good meme though.
Yeah, it is. I like the meme. It's a good meme. You can like get in for damage every turn for free.
Now, or if you want them to block, name Inspire Charge.
Oh god. Oh my god.
name Inspire Charge, and then once they block everything, you just like half the guy blocking Cheering Fanatic and be done with it.
Oh my
Or
god.
like Cheering Fanatic attacks and you name Overrun.
Oh no.
It's fun. It's fun if you like. I think naming tricks with this card is just hilarious.
I guess you could like already do that though. You don't even need to cheering for that. But cheering for that gives you like it gives your opponents like a reason as to why you'd be telling them why like that you have a card.
Yeah.
Because like it's kind of suspicious on its own. Like if you just like make an attack with like a regular creature, like by the way, I have this pump spell.
Right. Yeah. Like if you're swinging into a board with like a 3/3, and you attack with your 2/2, like, and you name Tank Them Tactics, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, like it's way more likely that you actually have it. So
yeah. So
well, like on the surface level, it's more likely that you have it.
Right.
Versus if you just like attack with some random bear that doesn't have this guy, like by the way, I have this pump spell.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So
yeah, I like this. Good meme. Good meme.
Yeah.